Hey guys, it's Connie. Before the video gets started, look in the description in the video so you can get a cotton guide. Hello everyone, it's Connie here from the Daily Life of Creativity, and today we are going to be creating another mini album, and this one is for a cherry on top YouTube hub, and it's this month is all about adventure. So I wanted to use simple stories, simple vintage woodlands collection, and these are some of the pieces that I have, and also have some of the 12 by 12 papers. So let's put this mini album together. You will need some chipboard pieces for the cover. I'm also will be using my book cover guide tool. You can find that on Cherry on Top. You will use your trimmer, double-sided tape, and also sort of type of liquid glue if you work with, and I also if you want to do other smaller embellishments to do the pages. Okay, so for this album I'm thinking of doing a waterfall, if like some type of waterfall maybe inside the cover, so it's going to be like a waterfall mini album. So let's see what we create. Okay, let's get started. So for the chipboard pieces, I usually get this online, but a cherry on top also has really good ones. I have used those before. I run out of them. That's the reason why I'm using this one. All right, so let's start by cutting, trimming the chipboard. This chipboard is, I think, 8.5 by 11. So with one, I will go ahead and trim at 5. I will leave the length at 8.5, and then the width of it is 5 inches. So it's 5 by 8.5. You will need two of those for the covers. And then the piece that is left over, I will go ahead and use it as a spine. This is 1 inch. Okay. So this is, let me write it down here for you. 5 by 8.5. You will need two of those. And then this one here is 1 inch by 8.5 for the spine. The spine doesn't need to be so thick, since I am going to be focusing the waterfalls on the covers. And then here we can just add a page, maybe with a pocket or something fun and interesting, right? Okay, so I will use my double-sided tape to adhere to add it to the covers, so I can adhere it to my paper. So let's go ahead and do that. Use the double-sided tape. I'm using a little washi cutter to cut the tape. That's one of my favorite tools to use when I'm using this type of tape on my projects. So washi cutter, a tape cutter, whatever you're used to using. If you need something to cut it, I recommend it. I have them in all colors and they work great. Okay, and this one is just to cover. Let's see. All right, there you go. I am thinking of doing it with this simple vintage woodlands. This is sandstone paper, and I'm loving the map on the outside. Maybe I can do like a dark blue and then this like coppery color. This is state blue, and this one is sandstone. So It's almost like a reddish, like a burnish reddish, which is pretty. And I do want the paper, if you want the inside to face like this, you can. It just depends on how you want. If you're using this collection or if you're using a different collection, then that is your choice. This is just for you to get in the instructions, just in case. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't work with you what you already have in stock. And I'm going to be using my trim and scoreboard. I like the trim and scoreboard because it has like a lip, especially if you need something um, to hold that paper straight to while you're adhering it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use my tool, cover guide tool, and I'm gonna take off the backing of the tape. All right, so I'll go ahead and just use my cover good tool as a guide, and then just adhere that there. This tool leaves about 3/4 of an inch all around. If you're using that, if you want to do 1/2 inch, whatever your paper size is, just leave something here so you can wrap your mini album properly. And in between the chipboard and the paper here in the corner, you leave about 1/8 of an inch so that doesn't the chipboard doesn't show, like I have said before, guys. Let me just mark this here with a pen, and then I will trim it. Use the same board to cut it. So I would say that you would need a paper that measures like around 6 3/4 by, I would say 10 1/8. Here, let's put that facing down. Let me know if one of you guys caught what I did before I did it. All right, so let's put the mat facing down because I want that on the outside. I'm just removing my backing from the tape, double-sided tape here. And if you have not done it yet before, subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. I really appreciate it. I've got a new faces here, and I'm excited to show you guys a few projects of what it makes, and hopefully you start making those mini albums. A lot of you are scared of making mini albums, but you have to start somewhere. I was not doing this before, trust me. Okay, so that was 10 1/8. And then 6 3/4 it was, I guess, right? Yeah, 6 3/4. That will work. So now this paper is going to be showing on the outside, which is pretty. And since I did, make sure that the writing is facing the right way too, okay? Because the writing was this way, I got to turn it. And then for the, I wanted the blue for the front, but since I did this mistake, I think I'm going to use the coppery sandstone paper in the front. Or maybe I can just decorate with the map on the outside. You see, those are just ideas. Just because something didn't turn out the way you had it doesn't mean that you should stop working on it, right? All right, for the spine, let's use the same sandstone paper to cover this. And this is already at 5 1/4, and I'm gonna leave it at, okay, so it's already at 5 1/4 by 10 1/4. I am going to leave it right there, and I'm going to center this 1 inch in between this, and then this I will use the flaps to adhere it to my pieces here, the covers. So let's do that, right? All right, so let's adhere this spine between, I would say more or less between 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. Okay, I'm using my cover guide tool to just leave the 3/4 of an inch at the top. Let's remove the backing here in the front, at the bottom, I mean. There you go. So now that is in the middle, and the paper is facing the outside with the map, which I like it. All right, so now let's add double-sided tape here to the edges of the album, the paper that is going to be wrapping around the mini album. Hopefully you guys are still here. So let me go ahead and repeat the same process with the other one. Let's speed this up. Okay, so my double-sided tape is there. And I'm just going to be pressing the double-sided tape into the paper and the chipboard to ensure that it is adhering and it doesn't lift. Okay, and also starts like kind of scoring on the paper. I like to use my table to do that, and then I finish creasing when the paper has been wrapped around the chipboard. Okay, there you go. Just press that down. There you go, and then the other side. All right. Oh, that's looking nice. All right, I do have to trim my corners, so let me go ahead and do this right here. I kind of want to use my blade. I'm just going to be using my self-healing mat to cut the corners right here with a blade instead of using a scissors. Since I have already added the tape, I just find this way a little easier to do that. Okay, and if you don't have the a blade, cut the corners first, then add the tape. Okay, I would recommend to do that. Just do it in a way that works best for you. Don't give yourself a headache. I do the mini albums differently every time, so I guess it's just depending how I'm feeling that day, I guess. And then one last corner here, and it leaves the perfect space in between here. So when you wrap the album, it doesn't show the chipboard. It's nice and covered, right? It's great. All right, let's start removing the backing from the tape once again. This is all like repetitive work, and once you got it, you wrap your album really nicely. It looks good in the on the outside and inside. You just have to go continue to the inside of the pages, which I promise you it won't be hard this time. It's just going to be you aligning papers one after the other, and we will go to that steps next. Okay, so I just wrap around the pages, ensure that the tips are in. Like you see those little pieces right here, I press those down in the tape using this little tool. And then with my table, I love to press the paper down and then just with my fingers press down, and then I come in with this tool again and press down. So it should be something like this. Okay, that looks really nice. Let's do the other one. Okay, so we press that down. Okay, so I am going to use the tool since it didn't go all the way down. Press those little corners in so they're not popping up. There you go. And then on the other side. And it looks really nice now. It's covered. Okay, so this is going to be our front cover. I'm just ensuring that the writing is facing the right way, and this is the back cover. And then for the spine, this is the spine. All right. So I left, let me see, around, it should be like 2 on 1/8 on each side, but I think I left a little more on this side than the other. Okay, let's bring this down and then just press it. There you go. There you go. And I'm gonna score that paper. And then on the spine, I'll repeat the same process that I always do with the other sides. I'm just scoring with my table. Do it gentle so you don't crease your paper, and then you will be left with something like this. Okay, and then ensure that the writing is facing the right way, and you will adhere it right here and right here. Okay, let's do this. I'm just pressing down, creasing the paper on the outside. Just a little, just doing it soft. There you go. So it has that nice little crease and it looks nice. All right. This is looking nice. Press that down with your hand. Press it down with your hand, and then let's add the double-sided tape now. Okay, so I will start here at the end. Let's do it on the other side. On this tape right here, if you were wondering, it is the 1 inch tape from Cherry on Top. Cutting this with the washi cutter. Pressing that tape down. And then with this board, once again, just to ensure that it is straight, I will just add it here. Let's remove the backing from the tape. We're almost done putting the base of the mini album together, guys, I promise. On the inside, we're just gonna cut some papers and then start lining them up. Okay, ensure once again that the letters are going the right way with this paper. There you go. There you go. So you just get as close as you can to the spine, but there's still a little room, especially in the back too. See? So that's the cover. And then you're gonna be covering this with a pretty paper, of course. Let's line that up here and sure. You see what I love using my German scoreboard, or whatever you have at home, even if it's just a scoreboard. If it has a lip, you can use that to ensure that the album is straight. Good morning, sweetie. How you doing, mama? You slept good? Oh, that means you slept really good. All right, so this is what it looks like now. I had to remove this because for some reason it wasn't straight. It was a little twisted. I'm just pouring along the spine so I can see it better, and then now I'm getting close again to that spine. There you go. Much better. There you go. Better now. So now it's not it's not crooked. Okay, to cover the inside of the album, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a paper that measures 8 3/8. So 8 3/8. So is the line after a quarter. So 8 1/4, and then a little line over just in case. And then let's do it at 11 1/8, just to see how that looks, right? I want it this way. Let's add double-sided tape all across this. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this process. So for this process, I like to remove just one tiny bit of the backing from the paper. The rest, I leave it on, just to ensure that it is straight everywhere. So you don't fight too much with that. So this looks about right. So let's just go ahead and adhere that. Okay. Yay. Now let's remove the packing from all the others. All right. Outside, inside. Let's crease the paper now. Let's do the other side. So we're done with the cover. Make sure that you're creasing this. Not don't press down too hard. You don't want to tear the paper. Right. And I really love this paper here. It's so pretty. I almost don't want to cover it. Oh. Let's work on the inside pages now. So I am thinking of using papers. This collection is has deep colors. And in here, this paper is already deep. So I'm just going by the colors that are on this beautiful little cluster here. So I see like the deep reds, the greens. This paper pretty much has every color here. And then you see a little blush here also. So these are the papers that I will use to create the pages here. Okay. And I am thinking that you can add 3x4 photos here. What I did, I was already playing around to see what I can do. This paper right here measures 4¼ by 4½. You score on the 4½ side at 4 inches, so you will leave with a ½ inch border. If you want, you can place it right there, so it would look like this. So let me get so this is a 3x4 photo. This is just an example. So you will add all your photos like this if you want them, and then you have space to add some type of cluster, embellishment, title, just a little something here, and they can all be like this. So let's trim those paper once again at 4¼ and let's see how many we can get. 4¼ by 4½. We're gonna have, see if this little scrap. So you have 2 reds. You probably need more. So 4¼ by 4½. 4½. So I have 4 so far. I'll let you know how many we'll need. With the let's use the green paper. Four and a quarter. 4½. And for all these papers, once again, you will score on the longest side, which is 4½, at ½ inch. Okay. 4¼ Let's do this twice right here. 4¼ and then 4½. Okay, so these are the papers that I have so far. Green, this pattern here. What is that pattern? It's like a plaid. Okay. And then let's use this paper. It's called Desert Rose. It is a rosy color since it's also inside of that image. And I grabbed all those papers. Water. Four and a half. All right. All right, so now on the 4.5 inch side, just score at half of an inch on all those sides. All the papers that you just cut. Four and a half, score at half an inch. Four and a half, score at half of an inch. Just repeating the same process with all of them. Okay. Four and a half, score half of an inch. So how are you guys doing with following these instructions? We built the base, which was probably the hardest part of putting the mini album together, you know, because you have to adhere the chipboard, make sure that the paper is aligned on the inside. And then now we are going to be adding the pages. And then go from there, right? Four and a half, half of an inch. Okay. Just bring those inward. Use your tool. There you go. So it's gonna be 4. I'm just folding those and then creasing them with my bone, just to ensure that they're flat when they are adhering to the background of my mini album. All right, and then I wanted to just use this little trimmer to and this is from We Are Makers, We Are Memory Keepers. I'm using the 1/4 inch side to trim those little corners so they look nice. So we're just gonna be rounding the corners for all those little papers that we just trimmed. Round the corners. On the 1/4 inch side, once again, just in case if you missed it or if you press fast forward. I don't know what you guys are doing. That's the reason why I like to know. I asked in the comments, I mean here, and then for you to leave in the comments on where you are, if you're following along, if you're recreating the same project. And then we're just gonna be stacking them up, guys. Alternating the colors, right? Which way looks better? Green, and then maybe we can do a red. I was thinking of doing that here like that, guys. Leaving about, I would say, so I will start with the green and then add the brown. So that's 1, 2, red, 3, and then 4, blush, 4. Okay, let's do this. Okay, green, red, and so on, right? I think that's the best. You coordinate the papers the way you want them. Maybe I will start with this one first. Okay. And I had 4 papers, and for each paper I did 4 pieces. Okay. I will count them when I am for sure. That is what I want. Okay. So let me use double-sided. Actually, I'm going to use liquid glue for this part. But if you want to use double-sided tape adhesive, go ahead and do so. And then let's start them. Let's start them about 1/2 inch, right? And I'm gonna mark that with a pencil. Let's mark that with a pencil. So right there. So I know that that's where I want to start. I'm using the 3-in-1 liquid glue. I need to get some barely out glue. I'm missing that glue. There are certain projects that I just miss it, and I have not. I recently got this from a cherry on top. It's called a silicone brush because I'm tired of using my fingers to remove the tape or to adhere or to just, what do you call it, spread the glue like that, right? And I figure that something like this will work good instead of using my fingers and getting them all nasty. And just try to, if this is a glue that can be spread, yeah, it can. There you go. And I'm using my mat as a guide with the lines. I am finding my little spot here where I marked with a pencil. And then on the outside, it's about 1/4, and then on here, another 1/4. Okay, so let's press that down so it stays. And then flip it over. And the good thing about the waterfall effect is that you can add photos here and then also photos on the inside, guys. Let's repeat the process and see how many here we can adhere, right? I'm using my little dandy new tool that I'm. Oh, this is nice, guys. Then I don't have to get my fingers dirty and wipe it on my clothes. press it down with your little bone. This one is not from a cherry on top. It's from Crafty Layer. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's a company that is from Spain, Spanish company. I might be wrong, guys. I don't know, but I know that for sure a cherry on top carries this type of bones. They have pretty much everything, guys, so you don't have to stress about that. Ensure that before you press that the pages are lining up so you're not worrying about that. Okay, the next paper, I guess, let's do red and then blush and then repeat the same papers. At the end of the day, the project has to look good to you. You're the one that has to love it and just be happy with it. So far, I am very happy with this. It's a little darker than I'm used to working with because I'm a pastel-y, bright, summery kind of girl. But this collection is just gorgeous, so I don't have a problem with it. It's just beautiful. I love the deep colors of it, and sometimes you just gotta step out of your box to create something new, use something new, right, guys? And then when we're done with the let me just go ahead and speed this process part up. And then when we are done with this part, I will show you how to add something here in the middle. So you have extra pages and it looks nice, and you can add more, maybe a pocket. Okay, make it fun. So let me just speed this up. You will see, but it will just be way faster than I'm going. All right, guys, so we are done with this side. So it should look something like this. And I think I'm going to add some type of magnet closure to keep them closed. So I will get back to that after we have done this side here. So for this side, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 papers for this side. So I'm just repeating the same process I did here. So once again, I started from half of an inch. And this is going to be the same process, so let's fast forward. I was just giving you guys some ideas. Just in case you want to, sometimes we get inspired by other people and we have an idea. We have the idea but don't know how to accomplish it, and then other people come around and they know exactly what to do. So hopefully you figure it out if you want to add the pages that way. And since I have already trained them, I didn't want to go in and, I could have trained them to make more fit this way, right? Okay, I already adhered the first one. Let's just continue. Liquid glue. My new best friend. This is the type of best friends that I have, guys. Silicone brush. My glue, my paper trimmer. We all can be my best friends. Crafty friends. They make me very happy. We're always leaning on each other to complete our project. I'm a little cuckoo. It's okay. Okay, now I'm gonna fast forward this before I start talking more gibberish. Hopefully you're still laughing with me. Oh gosh, nice corners are the right place. This thing's a little smaller. It's okay. It's okay. Alright guys, so we are done with the waterfall pages. And then, ooh, this is so pretty. Okay, so this was 5 inches, right? Yeah, 5 by 8.5. So, all right, guys. So I am creating a page for the middle, and I'm using the simple vintage Woodlands paper in Hello Nature. Gorgeous. One side has all the little glitters with little flowers and mushrooms and bears and fox and bunnies, anything wild, right? So on one side, on the 10-inch, you're going to need a piece of paper that is 10 inches. I scored 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Let's score on this side too. Yes, so 1/2 inch. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the corners right here. The bottom, not the top, like where we score all 3 sizes. Oh, and before we go into scoring that, you will also score in the middle at 5 inches. Okay. Hold them together and then just trim them like this. They will probably be asymmetrical, so you don't have to worry about it not being the same. So this is a pocket, and then now on the because this is going to be, oh boy, okay, so yeah. All right, so on one side, preferably the side that is facing the front, because it's like this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and mark it at 4 inches. And then align the top, and I know it's kind of hard to see because this paper is really dark. Align where you marked it here at the 4 inches to the tip of where you scored. So it's something like this. Okay, so now you are going to adhere these pieces that you score here. You will add double-sided tape or liquid glue, and this part here is the part that you're going to adhere onto the mini album. Okay, so it can go, let's do it this way. The packet will probably be in the back because I want the foliage to show. So there you go. You don't have to cut it on an angle here. The part that you are adding it, that you're adhering to the spine, you can leave it at a line like this. Yes, I shouldn't have cut here, but I was in the process of thinking and working on it while I was filming, so it's okay that I did that. I will work with it. So let's adhere that. There you go. This is our little pocket. Oh, it's so cute. Let's press that tape adhesive down. And then this part here, this is 1/2 inch. Remember that we score on 3 sides, 1/2 inch. You're gonna leave one out. We had to have something fun. And you don't have to trim it here like I did. If you already did, I'm sorry. But if you're watching before you start creating this project, then don't trim it so you can just adhere it straight to the paper and it looks nice. Let me add some double-sided tape to this. All right, so let's try to make sure that this is straight, guys. And we are adding that at a half of an inch, right? The same thing like the pages, because it's the same length of the waterfall here. Let's add that here. There you go. With the pencil. And I'm just reinforcing with, I know I added double-sided tape, but I also want to add a little bit of liquid glue. There you go. And just center it in your spine because this is 1 inch. This is half of an inch. So it's going to be a quarter of an inch and a quarter of an inch on both sides. And because I don't like the way this looks, I am going to go ahead and trim a piece of paper that is, if you didn't make that mistake, don't worry about this part. I just want it to be straight, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a piece of paper to cover that little slant cut that I did. There you go. And it's the same pattern paper, so some type of flow. I mean, it doesn't show too much unless you look a little too close. Oh, guys, look, it's so nice. All right, so now let's embellish. Oh my gosh, we can do something fun out here too. You see, this is where I always go crazy. We can add another page here that opens and closes with a magnet. And then the other side is a pocket. Let's do that, right? Do you want to do that? You know what? Let's just leave it alone. Let's add a matting for a large photo and create a title. And that's it. But if you want to add another page, I would recommend that you do it at, so cut a piece of paper that is 4 inches or 4.5, score a half of an inch, and then so you can fit a 4x6 photo, and then the length should be around 6.5. Okay, so you have a 4.5 by 6.5 paper, score at half of an inch on the length, and adhere that here, and then it will flip open. And then when you flip open, you can add a 4x6 photo on this side, on this side, and on this side. I think I'm gonna do it, guys. Let's do it. Okay, so this is going to be 6.5 by 4.5. Let's score it half of an inch. There you go. So something like this. Oh, that's cute. See, it's covering the pattern paper, but it's okay. When you open it here like this, you get to see that beauty again, right? And then we can mat it with more of that paper. You see it here outside in the pocket. I'm excited. The more photos you can add and embellishments, the better, the chunkier, the cuter the mini album. But if you like it simple and just the waterfall pages, I'm okay with that. You know, we all love things differently. That is the thing about being creative, right? You can create the projects the way you want, get inspired by someone, and then just run with the idea. But they don't not it doesn't necessarily have to be the same, right? So it can be just like this. I'm gonna add a magnet here. Oh, let's round the corners here with the tool, quarter of on each side. There you go, because we've been doing it for every single page, so might as well, right? Okay, there you go. Here. There you go. All right. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna come back to cover the outside, and then we're almost done. All right, guys. If you're using this one, it's beautiful, but I have changed my mind. I will be sticking this one down. Let's just do it, because if not, we're gonna be here all day. We don't have time. Liquid glue. Ensure that the butterflies are facing the right way, the pages are facing the right way. And then at here, I'm leaving a little larger space here because that's where my title is going to go. We're just gonna be layering embellishment here, okay? But we also have the chipboard pieces, and I really like this mushroom piece here. I want to add here that here, but since this is a little higher, I'm gonna go ahead and add some foam adhesive at the back. This foam adhesive is 1/8 of an inch. It's a little thick, but I like it. There you go. So just put that here. There you go. What about the fox? Ooh, that's so cute. There's a little mushroom right here, a little foam. He's a foam sticker. Or she, whatever she wants to be or he wants to be. Foam sticker here from the foam stickers. Just creating little layers. I really like this little fox. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that there. And add another piece here underneath the fox. There you go. And what else can we add? Some foliage, guys. Before you press that down, add some foliage here. Let's see, maybe that works. Maybe find a different one. Yes, Savannah? Uh, I like it how Adley, when they do a birthday video where it's the birthdays, so they have to pretend that they're superheroes, and the other ones are supervillains. I like that. You like that? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, like the Minecraft one. Minecraft birthday. Mm. Okay. They had to do face paint and stuff. Oh. Did you brush your teeth yet? Okay, I did. Okay. Wash your face, brush your teeth. All right, so I did a little floral here, a little foliage underneath with the floral pack that came from the floral pack. So I'm just grabbing from the foam, the chipboard, the floral pack. What else, guys? What else? Let's see. Maybe we can add another something here. I think it looks nice. Let's put this baby back here again. There you go. And then from the foam stickers, let's grab the little hearts and just scatter them. Butterflies. I know there is some at the bottom, but I like creating layers to things. So you see it just pops because it's on the chipboard and then now it's on top of the chipboard. So it's coming up and then now I really like this piece that says let's get lost. I'm adhering it right here at the bottom of all this. And then to complete the title, let's do explore. But before we add that, maybe we can put the title underneath all this, the L. Oh gosh, okay, let's see. I'm just layering, explore. There you go. And then add more hearts. These are the foam hearts at the bottom here. Bring them down. And then another butterfly there. And that is what the cover would look, guys. What do you think of the cover? Maybe we can add a little brad. These are the ones that says wild, explore. Maybe the one that says wild. Or enjoying nature up here. Or the camera. Oh, maybe let's see. Let's open this up. Explore. Like that. I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere it. I like adding embellishments, guys, because sometimes you save all these things and you don't use it. So use your things. Who are you saving them for? You know, somebody's gonna. What I learned after moving from California is that I used to save everything. Oh, I'm not gonna use that because I'll use it later, or I want to keep it. One thing that moving from California taught me was when it came to, I was going through a lot at that time, and I had one day to pack my house. Someone came to my house and took everything, and I didn't enjoy not even quarter of the things that I had. So adhere it, add it to your projects, love it, use it. Don't save it. Don't save it for someone else because at the end of the day, you got it for you. So if you're making this mini album for someone special, go the extra mile, all the fun things, and make it yours and make it fun. And don't stress about keeping something that you don't know what's gonna happen. So there you go, guys. So this is the cover. Oh, it's so pretty. So we added, you guys saw the process of that. That is how I like to layer my embellishments. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to go inside. All right, so let me just go ahead and do this. I want to ensure that I have my photo mat. And I'm adhering, this is a 4x6 mat. So there you go. So if you trim the 4x6 photo a little down, you should be able to fit a cluster or something here. 4x6. You have to round the corners too, guys. Because if you don't round the corners, then it's kind of weird on my side. Once you start rounding the corners, you get them all, right? There should be something like that. I just wanted to ensure that 4x6 photo fit here. It can fit, and then you can add embellishments. Beautiful. And let me see a 3x4 photo. I'm just trying to see. It will fit so nicely here, and then you can add your little clusters of embellishments at the bottom, or round the corners of your photo, and then put the photo at the bottom, and add embellishments at the top. There you go. You see, you have many ideas. It is up to you guys. Just like that, or round the corners. This is a little chipboard piece from the decorative brands. It says Enjoy Nature. It's all about being adventurous, right? We went to where did we go yesterday? We went to this park yesterday. We took Savannah. It's a park, and it's also people play frisbee golf. I have never had a frisbee golf before yesterday. All right, guys, so we are done with this. You guys saw the process of it. Let's go inside. Oh, on the outside here, I also added an Explore adhesive brand. The decorative brands. This one says Explore. It's pretty. The back, I left it this way. And now inside, this is where I started. I added a photo mat here, but you don't have to. You can just add your photo straight to it and then maybe mat your photo on top of paper to create layers. These are some of the brass, the chipboard pieces, the floral. This is from the floral ephemera. And then these are all from the foam stickers here and there. Remember that you can add your photos here too on the other side. So if you create clusters like this one here, don't worry. Just flip it over and then add your photo on the other side. Okay. Some of them are left empty. I added little mushrooms, adventure. And then here I added another piece of paper and I put great outdoors with some hearts. Most of these pieces are from the chipboard foam or brands and also the floral pack. The piece, this pocket right here, I am going to trim this card right here and this one and add it here because then you can add your top 5 favorite outdoor activities or outdoor, like, discovering, exploring, having fun, like you can add that. And this one here too. So you can tuck this into the pocket. And then on the other side, I just repeated the same process with the foam adhesive stickers. Just creating little clusters. So these are 16 in total. And this is it for this mini album, guys. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what you think about this mini album. Is there something that you would like for me to create using another collection? Leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you all soon. Make sure you to check out my other friends here at Cherry on Top, their YouTube videos. I'm sure they come with a lot of inspiration, and I will feel free to check it out too. When I have some free time, I will definitely follow along and stop at Cherry on Top to start first. But yeah, this is the album that I did for this month. Bye. Take care.